For 2025, the Audi Q7, Q8 and the Go Faster SQ models all get a midlife refreshening. The changes, they're not that big, but they do make a substantial difference. Now, all of the electronics, the rear steer, the sport rear differential, and of course the active roll stabilization really do make a very big difference. This thing, when you push it down a twisty road, is suited and booted. Yes, it's all about utility, but you forget you're driving a crossover. You know the SQ models are fast. They run to 100k in 4.1 seconds. However, if enough is not quite enough, there's always the 2025 SQ8. Now when it arrives, it will arrive with 631 horsepower, which should mean a run to 100k of about 3.5 seconds. Go figure, a family ride that's also a race car. You gotta love it. Audi's largest crossovers get fresh front and rear styling, including a reworked front spoiler and a more aggressive rear diffuser along with quad tailpipes. Now these things bark and burble beautifully on startup and roar delightfully under hard acceleration. The reason? Both the 7-seat SQ7 and 5-seat SQ8 feature a fire-breathing 4-litre twin-turbo V8. This silky monster punches 500 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque, and they push it through an 8-speed automatic and quattro all-wheel drive. The available S-Sport package includes two important features. First, the quattro all-wheel drive, which is now more aggressive and can send up to 80% of the drive rearward, now works with Audi's sport rear differential. It adds torque vectoring and more predictability to the drive. The second part is active roll stabilization. Here an electric motor splits a traditional anti-roll bar into two separate pieces. When driving straight ahead, the two work independently to improve the ride. In the twisty bits, the electric motor moves so the two halves work in opposite directions, which counters body roll. It is a black science, but it keeps the SQ flat through a fast corner in spite of its taller ride height. While there are myriad driving modes, it really boils down to a choice between auto and dynamic. Auto sees the SQ waft on the highway and it manages to hold its own through the twisty bits. Dynamic is much better when the road gets serious. The adaptive suspension hunkers down and the rear steering begins to sharpen the response to input. These two modes also change the drive characteristics. Auto brings a relaxed highway experience and a keen driving ethic when it's needed. Dynamic is for those treasured moments when the road takes a turn for the better. Racing towards a decreasing radius corner, you stand on the brakes and feel the gearbox downshifting into the right gear. Now when you hit the apex, the engine is in the meat of the rev range and the transmission in the perfect gear to blast forward. It allows you to drive, well, like you stole it. Some time ago, Audi designer Martin Smith, the man behind the Quattro, figured the company should put a clearer emphasis on interior design. That decision proved pivotal. It gave Audi an interior edge it's never given up. And so it is for the Q7 and Q8. Audi's Virtual Cockpit Plus and the multimedia interface are intuitive, and they set the tone for the rest of the interior. The 12.3-inch instrumentation is reconfigurable, and it allows the driver to see as much or as little information as desired. To the right sits the larger of the MMI's two screens. It's sharp and quick to respond to input, and it gives haptic feedback. Now this proved to be a bone of contention. Some loved the iPhone-like click that confirmed the driver's touch. Others, me included, hated it. The good news is you can turn it off. Regardless, the format is intuitive and supports everything from Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to the Drive Mode display and Bang & Olufsen sound system. Here, 3 amplifiers, 1920 watts and 24 strategically placed speakers deliver a rich and immersive sound. It is wonderful. Now below that you'll find a second screen that gives easy access to the climate control functions. So there you have it, a quick overview of the 2025 Q7, Q8 and both of the SQ models. Now the changes for all of these vehicles, yes, they are fairly small, but cumulatively they do make a big difference. I'm Graham Fletcher for Driving.ca.